Welcome to the Mike and JD Show YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I want you to do me a big favor before you check out this clip. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to throw in a comment and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. And then I want you to share this video with your friends. Help us defeat the algorithm. And then if you like this content and you appreciate this content, please head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show and support the show. That is how we actually get funded to be able to do this. So we thank you very much for being here. And now enjoy the clip.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. A made no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This isn't A game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. A made no rain from the
I look back on kind of where we're at right now, and I get like 96 WCW vibes because, people just keep showing up and it's like big names.
Yeah.
Right. And the shows don't feel the same. I'm not saying this was like Nitro. Like it's not like it feels like that where just these massive stars are coming out every week. And the promotion feels revitalized from where it was like at the end of the year because we just brought in 3 massive stars. Kazuchika Okada, Mercedes Moné, and Will Ospreay, who's very quickly becoming the top guy in this company.
Sure,
like
feels like
it doesn't it? Like he gets out there and people, I don't know, man. It seems like the UK fan base in particular doesn't really like him sometimes. And they're like, I don't think he's
a very
like
specific crew.
Specific crew.
That
Yeah, I agree
like
with you.
them, him, but it's not big enough to stop the Ospreay. Like the fact that has come over is incredible to me. I know it says in the song, but still, they got along with it quick.
For sure. He starts talking and he just oozes charisma. Like he just feels like the guy right now. And this is a company that has needed a top baby face for a long, long time, right? Like MJF tried to be that guy, and it was like half the audience was fighting with it. And said on one time that guy, and he never really wants to be the top guy. And like there was a time I thought when Adam Cole had his comeback, I thought maybe Adam Cole can be that guy, and it just didn't quite click. Will Ospreay walks out there. He's the best professional wrestler in the world, bar none. And now he's cutting these promos and he's coming off cool. He's coming off likable. And there's just something about him that's different and it's new. And it's really working for me right now.
I think that promo last night kind of ended any concern people may have had with him coming over to US wrestling television because it's so different from the New Japan feeling, right? We've seen him cut great promos. He's not always been consistent on promos. That is not that is not how he makes his money. He makes his money by going out there and putting on great professional wrestling matches. But that promo last night, I was just like, oh man, this is their guy. Like the way he cut it, the enthusiasm, the authenticity, everything he said you believed. And that is what you need from a babyface. Him going against Danielson in his first like true program. I know he's had programs in AEW, but this is the first one he's on TV every single week building it up. That is one Danielson saying, hey, I want that. You're going to give Tony Khan probably was like, oh, okay, here you go. The best 2 wrestlers in the world. Yeah, I'll put that on my show. And it's just a way to get him all the more over. I think you're absolutely right. By the time we're at All In, he is the bona fide number 1 babyface.
100%, especially when he gets out in the UK because again, he had few any Dynamite experience last year, and he was massive in Wembley, massive. This year, with all that extra momentum behind him, I just can't see him not being like the face of this company, 6 months from now. I really can't. I think they're really building something special with Ospreay. I truly, truly do. And on the flip side of it, Kazuchika Okada was a guy who would pop up and people would like love him and adore him for the longest time, right? Now he's here and he's embracing my favorite Okada, the absolute dickhead Okada. This is just like he's so, and people forget how good he is at being a prick. Like we got a little bit of it last year with the Kaito Kiyomiya stuff, and now we're just going full war of this, and they put him against Eddie Kingston, like the most beloved wrestler in the company. Like I think that this new revitalized Okada is just a great get for this company, and they did something different that I don't think a lot of people would have thought to do with Okada right away, making him like one of the top heels in the company right out the get-go. So again, this is what I'm talking about. Everything just feels new, even with guys that have kind of been around before. But again, there's new blood, there's just new life on this show, and I think it just makes for better viewing, because Dynamites were hard to get through from about late September till about the end of the year.
Yeah,
Dynamite was not a fun show to watch.
that World's End show had me like questioning if I liked wrestling.
I didn't get
Mojo won the title. I was happy about that, but I was like, oh, this is not AEW.
We had a wrestling meet that night, and I just didn't get it. And I was reading, I'm like, I was thinking about getting the replay. I'm like, I just don't think I care. Like, and it was nice that Joe won. I caught the clips on YouTube, but I never went back and watched the show, and I have zero qualm about it. But then, as always, they come out with Revolution, and there's never been a bad Revolution show. It was fantastic.
It's their signature show. I think we just have to, like, I'm not gonna say it's their WrestleMania, because listen, that's All In technically, right?
I think it's their SummerSlam.
I think you're absolutely right. And what we can say with these three signings, right? Okada, Ospreay, is Mercedes, is that they've gotten the new face, the new top baby face of their men's division, the new top heel of their men's division, and the two new top women's face of their company, right? Like, I think that's very important, but also just incredible that you've had three people come in, make such a big impact so quickly. All the while, you have the likes of a Kenny Omega not participating right now, right? And you still have all these other stars. Like, we haven't said a word about Swerve, and he's unbelievably over, right? It's like they're pressing all the right buttons right now after pressing what I thought was all the wrong buttons last year towards the end of the year. So I appreciate it.
And we didn't mention Hangman Page, who's going through his 97 Bret Hart era right now.
Yes.
Like, we had this awesome double turn, kind of a double turn. It'd been building, much like Austin Hart. Like, it had been building for a while, but now it's official. Like, where Swerve is a beloved baby face, and Hangman, like, he's out there really trying to be a dastardly heel at this point. And we've got this world champion that's, I guess you'd call him a tweener, because he's not quite a baby, because people love him, but he's not like a baby face, and he's not really a heel. He doesn't, like, he's kind of a dick, but he's just Joe. Like,
he's just a badass.
Yeah, this is just Joe. This is what Joe is. And what I've liked about AEW from jump is that you don't have to necessarily fit into this baby face heel lock. Like, I do like when we have some shades of gray. I do like
a lot like Japan.
That's just what I was going to say. Like, I think that's what makes Japan really cool, is that, you can have two quote unquote baby faces have a blood feud with each other, and people just respect them for who they are. And like, what I really like about what's going on right now, and it's funny. I put something on my Facebook page today, because I said, I said a couple months ago, I went semi-viral on Twitter for going on to like a ridiculous tirade about, media hypocrisy, and I was talking about wrestling media, and I got like 10,000 likes and 100 retweets. And then I say on Twitter, hey, don't be afraid to tell the people in your life that you love them. I got 3 likes for that. So I'm like, this freaking platform is just poison. But like I was trying to say, is like, I was circling around to this. Old cheese boy, old Alfred, was like, oh, they couldn't come up with any kind of a storyline for Ospreay and Danielson. Can't Ospreay kick his dog or try to flirt with Brie Bella? And I'm like, God damn it, dude. No, that's not what the AEW fan base wants. So like, oh, all they can do is who's the best wrestler? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is exactly what I want to see.
I do this with Mike on time. I'll do it with you. I've never done this with you before. A story, right? And I'm going to get literary here for you for a moment. A story. This is Robert McKee's definition of a story. You have a protagonist, you have a main character who has a goal. Something is standing in the way of him achieving his goal. When he reaches the goal, whether success or failure, he is changed. That is the literal definition of a story. And professional wrestling is the easiest vehicle with which to tell this story. Mike Gilbert, glad to see you're back. Cheese boy, you know me. Like, And it's so easy to do it in wrestling. And look, we've got this. We've got two guys. We've got two alphas that truly believe they are the best professional wrestlers in the world. And they are going to prove it. I don't need Will Ospreay kicking his dog. I don't need Brie Bella or Brie Garcia to get involved in this. I just want these two guys that want to beat each other up. That's all I need. That's all I want. And again, I'm the guy who has the freaking media degree. I'm the guy who writes the books. I just want wrestling to be wrestling. Is that such a bad thing?
No, it's actually the best thing, I'd argue. To me, like the reason I love wrestling, and oftentimes my favorite wrestling has come from Japanese promotions, but AEW is capturing that so much, right? Some of the best and most storied rivalries of the past decade are Okada and Omega. There was no heel and babyface in that. The story was who's the best, right? The final boss Okada versus Kenny Omega. You have, obviously Okada and Tanahashi. You have Ospreay and Omega just this past year, right? You have Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson. Like, these matches are the matches that get talked about the most because it's not about story, it's about being the best. And sometimes that is the best story. It is a story, as much as these people don't want to admit it. It's a story. And when you have it as Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay, I don't want anything else but who's the best.
It doesn't need anything. It doesn't need the bells and whistles. It doesn't need the accoutrement. It just needs to be professional wrestling. And again, if WWE needs to be this, and they've always been that company that does that kind of stuff because they don't lean into the athletic aspect of wrestling. They never have. It's the company DNA. I think what really hurt AEW in 2023 was them trying to emulate that WWE style of storytelling. And it isolated a lot of fans of that product, myself included. Like, I had a real hard time getting back into AEW at the beginning of this year because I had fallen so far out of favor with it. Like, I'm watching every week because I have the show, but I'm playing with my phone. I'm disengaged for the most part, right? For a lot of it, it was real hard for me to get involved. And it took a lot of poking and prodding to kind of get me back into it. Right. And now I'm back. I'm ready. I don't want them. I watch AEW because I don't like WWE. I used to watch New Japan because I don't like WWE. I don't like the way they tell their stories. I'm not crazy about the way New Japan's doing it right now either. But I want for the longest time, I wanted an American promotion that was just different. And we get that. And I know they're on the right path because every time someone says something good about them, 1,000 Roman Reigns AVIs on Twitter have to talk about how it's not working.